there, listeners. Welcome back to another episode of a Dicey Experience. My name is Jason Sketch, and we are so excited to bring you back to another episode. I will be your DM. Sitting across from me is Monsieur Meerkat.
Hello, this is Meerkat. I am playing Lucas Findware, the human cleric, and I think I need to check and see what's wrong with the DM.
Thank you for sharing. To your left is Stolen.
Hi, this is Stolen. I'm playing Crew Saipan, the Warlock Turtle, Captain of the String. And do you think Fireball would save the captain?
Ha! Fire is an explosion that might not help pet. Hello, lazy man.
Hello, my name is Lazy Man Gamer. I play Jean Lafayette, the Harangon Rogue Ranger. And I definitely did not replace our DM with ChatGPT.
Ha.
Good AI.
All right, well, that bit's over.
Joke crash landed.
Crash. It soared. Everybody loved it. They took it. It was wonderful.
Just flew a little too close to the sun.
That's it.
Error.
Task failed successfully.
Danger, Sir Robinson. Danger. Speaking of danger, our party. Well, yeah, you know what? Stolen, what happened last
Crew found out that the rest of the Fates were withholding information from him about the map. They then successfully made their way into the port of Tortune, where they found out that the city had grown tremendously within the last 2 weeks. After docking, they set off into the city to talk to Crew's contacts to find out more information about why the city had changed and what was going on there.
And that's where we pick up. You've arrived, as we've spoken about before, at Shark's Head Tavern. And now there's almost like a little driveway in front of it where carriages are pulling up and little different humanoid people are walking out and taking a small tag and handing a small to the owner of the cart, and then taking their cart and almost driving it around to park it somewhere else. There's a little bit of like a walkway space in front of the tavern, and there's now an awning that's right below the Shark's Head, and you guys were walking up to the door.
Are y'all ready, guys?
Always.
What should we expect?
We're probably going to meet my boss, or at least my former boss. I'm not sure exactly what kind of relationship after the last 2 weeks, but everything should be pathetic. She likes me. Go for it. Follow my lead. Going to walk up to the door and push it open.
Before you can push it open, a Minotaur standing on the outside. He's got a nice suit on. It's buttoned up. He's got no pants, but he does have the top part of the suit on with the suit jacket and everything. Oh, sir, let me take care of that for you. And he grabs the door and he opens it wide for you. Oh, it's my pleasure. Welcome to the Shark's Head.
You happen to know if V is in there or where I can find her?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know a V.
Okay, I will look for her. She's supposed to meet me here.
Very good. Hopefully you will see her inside.
I will walk in.
As you guys walk in, you find yourself standing in a red carpeted hallway. Good, 5, 6, 7 feet from you is a Loxodon who has a podium in front of him, and it looks like he's got a clipboard. He is also well dressed. Loxodons, for those of you who don't know, they're giant elephant people. So it looks like his necktie is a little tight around his neck, but it seems to be functioning quite well. Buttons are busting a little bit, so it looks like he needs a bigger shirt, but this is what he has at the moment. There's a doorway kind of behind him, and again, this is across the hall from you. You can also go down the hall to the right and to the left. It looks like they both turn corners if you were to go down that hallway.
Hello, sir. I've never had a host here before. This is weird.
Oh, good evening. Pleasure to have you here. Welcome to the Shark's Head. You've never been here before.
No, I've been here plenty, but it's been a few weeks.
And
you're new?
Oh, yes, as of a few weeks ago. You must have a reservation to be able to enter the Shark's Head. What's your name, sir?
My name is Crew. And
Oh, Master Crew.
yes.
Wonderful. Well, would you like your regular table, sir?
And if you see V, tell her to meet me there.
Marvelous. Yes, I can pass the information on to Miss V. Come on in. I do not know if she's arrived yet. I just started my shift just a moment ago, but I can take you to your table.
I appreciate it. And I'm going to turn around and look at a shrug.
You just have a standing table here.
This is all very new. It used to be very dive bar. You would walk in and there's a table, you would grab it.
Weird. Just like everything else in the city, it seems to have been greatly renovated.
Yeah, and I don't see how they had the manpower to do all this in weeks. Very weird.
Didn't the guy down at the dock say it had been a few months?
He said he had been here for a few months, but obviously we left about 2 weeks ago, unless there's been some kind of weird time travel. Don, do you know about any kind of weird time travel that happens at sea?
There have been rumors of storms and things that pop up, but I don't think any of the storms that we've been through have altered time at all.
Question to the DM. When we were out to sea, I didn't grow a beard spontaneously. Time may have sped up far quicker than usual.
I mean, your intelligence is high enough to note that like nothing outside open on the open sea felt like time had sped up in a super quick way. It feels like time has passed as if it has only been 2 weeks.
I'm guessing someone just struck the jackpot and has sunk that money into the town. It is strange how quickly it's developed, though. Would have had to be a massive jackpot with a massive amount of laborers.
My other wonder is maybe call it glamour.
Glamorous. Or you mean some sort of magic?
Yeah, some ton of magic.
Ah.
I mean, we did see the wizards and the artificers on the ships holding the dock. It's possible they have something to do with it.
Very true.
Oh, wonderful! You saw the gemstone miners.
Tell us a little bit about that. That started since I've been in town.
Oh yes, well they recently discovered a large vein of gemstone, and as you might know, gemstone is a very magical and powerful stone, and quite, artificers and wizards and such will pay quite a bit of money to be able to craft those into magic items. Of course, it needs to be processed down, so that's why we had the new factory, but the town's been very plentiful since we've discovered that vein is so close to the port.
One merchant that discovered this, or?
I'm not sure. I just know that it's suddenly popped up as of late, and since then the town's just kind of exploded.
I'll turn to Fishy that it was found all of a sudden. Let's go sit down. We'll talk to B and the rest of my contacts. No offense to you. Sorry I didn't get your name.
Oh, my name is Barney.
Barney. Yeah.
Yes.
It was nice to meet you. Could you take me to my seat, please?
Oh, yes, of course. I just assumed you were visiting. I just take me one moment, and he gets a little towel, and it's kind of got some stripes on it. It's got a red, green, and white stripe. Not necessarily in that order, but that's kind of where the stripes on the towels look like as you travel past this doorway. And it's not like a closed door, it's a large red curtain. It kind of opens this red curtain and you go into this next room. The tavern itself doesn't look exactly the same as it did. You remember it? Describe what the tavern kind of looked like on the inside before I describe what it looks like now.
So it was just a typical tavern. Wooden floors, wooden roof, pillars here and there to just hold it up. Booths along the walls were very dingy and run down. Tables were, some of them probably had like missing legs or prosthetic legs that didn't really match the rest of the rest of the chair, because they had been broken in different fights and stuff like that. Bar, which was sitting on one side of the room, had a few bar stools again. Probably they had missing or mismatching, and the glasses along the wall typically were pretty dirty, and there was only one bartender ever working at a time.
Awesome. The room is very different now. When you walk in, the flooring is still made of wood planks, but they look brand new, almost a light birch color. The smell of pasta and meat sauce kind of hits you pretty hard when you walk in. There are 4 pillars that hold up the roof, and they're kind of in the center of the room. Though they look like they're made of stone, grayish color, almost that same Roman type style where it's kind of got the slits that are kind of go along the side, and it's got the weird cloud curly things near the top and the bottom that kind of make the braces at the top and the bottom. It's got 2 levels, and you're on the top level, and you realize you're gonna have to step down to this bottom level as he's guiding you to your table. Along the walls are all the booths that you remember, but they're shiny and new, and they're full of well-dressed people. There's now a loud commotion of people talking. Not super loud like they're yelling, but you can definitely feel like you're in a restaurant where there's just thriving and it's going well. It's almost like a Sunday afternoon if you were going to go out to eat in Texas. Kind of that same feel like as going out to eat right after church. The lighting in the room is very dimly lit. There are large banners, but they're made of cloth that kind of hang around the top that connect the 4 pillars together. So you kind of pass underneath them as you're going down into this bottom floor section. They are also that same white, green, and red striped colors. You find your table and it's got 4 wooden chairs around it, a nice white tablecloth that has checkered red colors in it as well. As you look around, people tend to have similar checkered tablecloths on their table as well. The table chairs are also kind of that light brown birch color. There's a small vase in the middle of your table that has a flower in it. That is just a white flower with 5 petals and 2 little yellow, whatever the center part of a flower is, kind of popping out of it. Almost like a nice lily, but it also looks like it's been bred with a daisy. It's a strange mix of a flower in general. He pulls back your chairs as you guys all sit down, and then he leans over, and you realize you're sitting next to this giant fountain with water running out of it, clear as day, also made of stone and just beautifully made. There is a little angel with a bow at the top, with wings that is about the size of a gnome, and it's kind of spins and shoots water out of the arrow as it's kind of slowly spinning at the top of this fountain. He leans over and grabs a basket of and lays it on your table there. Please have a seat, sirs, and someone will be with you shortly to take your order.
Thanks, Barney.
Oh, my pleasure. always happy to see a friendly face.
I'll grab a seat.
You sit in it, comfy. It's got a little pad at the bottom that is also that checkered red and white color.
I'll sit down at the table and immediately grab some bread and eat it.
Jean sits as well, yeah.
Perfect. The bread, it's savory. It's really well made. The garlic on it's almost like perfect. The butter is better than the bugbear butter you guys have been enjoying that the Nilbog brought with you.
What could be better than that?
Been real, and I'm gonna reach out and kind of grab the flour. Fake. All of this whole town seems fake now.
While I'm sitting there, I'm just going to quickly cast Detect Magic, or Presence of Magic within 30 feet.
Hey, will you join me in the Whisper channel, Meerkat?
Okay.
Everything is magic. Everything's magic
is
when you're in
magic.
Tortune. Everything is magic.
Yes. So, as you sit down, you start casting this magic. Normally, you can kind of tell what kind of school of magic it is. Is that right? With Detect Magic, kind of tells you what kind of school of magic it is.
See a faint aura around any visible creature or object in the area that bears magic, and you learn the school of magic, if any.
There's an aura, like an orange coloration aura around everything. As you look around, it's not around you or around John or Peru, except a little bit around his ring. Same coloration, but you haven't been able to tell what kind of magic his ring is either since you started noticing him and studying him and getting to know him a little bit better. But the rest of the town is definitely colored in the same aura all the way around it. Of course, the people are not, but like their clothing is, and anything that would have been bought or built by the riches that would have come with this town seems to have this coloration with it.
So we're in like a restaurant with multiple tables and people sitting around all tables, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I would see other tables and people sitting at it. They're closed, and the table that they're sitting at would be orange, but not. Is that?
Not like the people. Yeah, it's not like people were magically spawned by this magic. The people are real, but everything that's around is this magic to it. And granted, like as you watch Crew touch the flower, even if you were to reach out and touch that flower, it feels very real.
And the flower is glowing orange as well.
The flower is also glowing orange. Of course, then you see the different magic items that you guys are carrying, and some different magic items that are being carried by different people in the restaurant that are glowing a different color. But you definitely have orange coloration that's kind of all around you, and you can't quite put your finger on what school of magic it is because it's a different flavor than you've ever seen, as best to describe it as someone who's a cook. Different flavor. Let's head back. So you see, Lucas kind of begins to look around and look at different things. You guys are eating that garlic bread. It tastes really good. Eventually somebody comes by and drops off some menus in front of you guys. On the menus you see things like spaghetti and lasagna. There's a chicken alfredo. There's some different vegetable salads that are on there with some different types of sauces that you can put on top of your salads.
Is this a restaurant that has prices on the menu, or has it become so upscale that the prices are no longer on the menu?
Prices are no longer on the menu.
That's scary.
Crew is gonna just set the meat down on the table and start looking around the room. Does it recognize anybody?
The lights are very dim, but you can roll me a perception check.
12.
12. You're looking around the room, and a lot of these people are brand new faces to you. There's some tieflings and elves. There's a whole family in the back corner of gnomes, and the two kids are acting out. There's a family of halflings that are looks like they're on their third plate of pasta, and the waiters come by, and you can kind of hear him say, "Oh, would you like some more?" "Oh, yes, just keep it coming, man." And so they're waving that on. Their little hobbit feet are swinging underneath the table there. They're sitting a little high, but eventually on the other side of the fountain, sitting in a booth in the far corner, kind of close to this another opening that's on the other side of this room, is V sitting at the table, and she seems to be sitting at a booth enjoying a meal with a very familiar dragonborn.
Has she seen me?
Not yet.
I wonder if Lou is still where it was, and Drew is going to get up and start walking like he's heading towards the restroom, but is going around to the other side of the fountain, head over towards V.
No one seems to stop you as you walk over that way. Everyone seems to be glad to see you. As you're walking, you see a couple of the table folks looking at you, and their faces you're starting to recognize more and more faces on this side of the room, and they're smiling and they're nodding at you, kind of giving you thumbs up as you're walking towards the table.
I'll approach the table. Thane?
Oh, you've made it. Please, have a seat, crew.
I will, I'll take a seat next to Thane. It's been so long, I've missed y'all.
It has been very long. These 2 weeks, did you board the pirate ship?
I did, and I am now captain of said pirate ship.
You're the captain? Oh, so you mean to tell me that you've stolen the ship as your own?
Yes, the ship is mine for the time being, and I do have a crew working underneath me, so I guess technically all mine?
Wonderful. Very good. They're going to be very proud with you. The
I really hope so.
are all very excited to meet with you, especially with this news is going to be fantastic.
But
The crew, where is it now?
well, 2 of them are actually sitting over at a table right over there, and then the others are still on the ship. They
Wonderful.
are paid to park it, and they're gouging like crazy down there.
Oh, yes, that's us. We run the docks now, so don't worry, you'll get your fee back. It's no problem.
Okay.
But the crew is here.
Well, part of them are.
Wonderful. She claps her hands, and you see several of the tables stand up, and they draw swords, and they start walking over to Jean and Lucas.
Whoa. No. V, what are you doing?
Pirate the pirates. We're taking all of their things.
John pops up and draws his sword and pulls out his pistol.
They are with me.
So you're choosing to be a pirate as well? And Fang looks at you and begins to put their hand on the hilt of their weapon as well.
I'm not choosing to be a pirate. That is my property now.
Yes, and we will take all of your property so that they will no longer have it. And they can start from the ground and work their way up.
Well, in turn, they are my property too.
No, you know very well we don't take people as property. John, you said you stood up?
Yeah, I stood up. I pull out my sword, pull out my pistol, and just start aiming it around at all of these people who now have swords out. And after a few seconds of realizing like nothing is changing, that they're looking directly at us, I'm gonna call out for Nameless. I'm gonna yell out, "Nameless!"
Okay, yeah, Nameless spawns next to you, right on top of the table. His paw squishes the bread that Lucas was just munching on.
V, you don't have to do this.
I'm afraid I do. We're under new leadership, and these are the rules.
Would Smoke agree to this? Smoke, not here anymore?
No, she is not, unfortunately. She is in a better place. And with that, V claps her hands, and everybody begins to move in to grab Lucas and Jean, and now this strange Drake that has spawned into the room.
Jean's gonna hold up his weapons and say, "Hold one moment," and I'm gonna cast Thaumaturgy and cause the fountain to stop flowing. If that's something you'll let me do with Thaumaturgy, like the water just freezes in place. Is that too much?
What is read the spell to me?
Okay.
'Cause I know it's usually used for like booming voice, right?
Yeah, you can like cause like windows to open and doors to open and like just things like that. Let me get to it real quick. Manifest a minor wonder, a sign of supernatural power within range. You create one of the following magical effects within range. Voice booms, you cause flames to flicker, brighten, dim, or change color. You harness tremors in the ground for 1 minute. You create an instantaneous sound that originates from a point of your choice within range. You instantaneously cause unlocked doors or windows to fly open. You alter the appearance of your eyes for 1 minute. If you cast this spell multiple times, you can have up to 3 of its 1-minute effects at a time, and you can dismiss such an effect as an action.
Okay, yeah, you can freeze the fountain, have it stop for a minute, stop flowing for a minute. You see the kind of the I'm doing it with my hands, but you can't see it when I do it with my
No,
hands.
I can't.
The angel at the top is almost like a sprinkler outside. You know, kind of goes.
Yeah.
It kind of like that's stuck when a sprinkler's stuck in place and it's not anymore. It seems to be doing that type of a motion.
We are powerful wizards of the ocean. You may outnumber us 10 to 1, but your lives are in danger just by coming into conflict with us. I would lay down your arms and let us leave. We mean you no trouble. Or we can sweep you out to the seas.
There's one of the gnomes that were in the back that seemed to have the children that were goofing off and causing trouble. Snaps his finger and a loud thunder booms above you. Powerful magic too.
Right, that didn't work. Lucas, run. And John takes off for the door.
DM question.
Yes.
If I use a spell as a bonus action, my action can only be a cantrip, right? I can't use another leveled spell. Then I'm going to sprint towards the two of them, yell, John, make it to the door, grab Lucas by the arm, and cast Dimension Door.
Okay. Well, before you step away from your table, because it is a good 30 feet away that you've walked at least, I need you to make me a strength check.
9.
The minute you stood up, Dragonborn friend has grabbed your arm and is holding you back super tight with a 19 plus.
Thane, what are you doing? Let me go.
Them's are the rules now. We serve a different person. If you want to be alright, I need you to stay here. Otherwise, become one of them, and we have more problems. Yes, you've done so good so far. Please, don't cause any trouble for yourself, crew.
B, I love you. This is you. What is going on here? What's going on with this town? What's going on with this crew? None of this makes sense.
We pirate the pirates, and we've made a fortune doing so. These are the new rules, and this is what we follow now. If you're not willing to follow, to the prison as well. So you and Nameless are starting to run. Lucas, what are you doing this whole time?
As John says run, I quickly grab the last piece of garlic bread, shove it in my mouth, get up and try and run with them.
Perfect. So you guys they're slowly starting to surround you guys in this process. Go ahead and make some strength checks for me as you guys are passed through, and I'm going to make a couple as well.
Strength check or saving throw?
Strength check.
As they're running, I'm going to cast message to John and say, make it to the ship with or without me. I'll catch up.
I guess John doesn't respond.
John is freaking out. There's no time to respond.
You say that out loud.
No, those are internal thoughts. I suppose they might accidentally transmit back.
Perfect. What were your strength checks, Lucas and Jean?
4.
18. Does
18.
Nameless need one too, or just John?
Yeah, Nameless needs one as
Okay.
well.
Ooh. Nameless, be strong. Okay. 10 for Nameless.
So you guys got very lucky, and you guys are able to break it out of the room. The guy that rolled against you, Lucas, rolled a natural 1. The guy that rolled against you, Jean, rolled a 16 plus 2, so got an 18. But that's, of course, we played Tygo as a defender, so you are able to break out of that grapple. And the guy that rolled against Nameless got a 5. So you guys are able to bust into that
Nice.
hallway. There are some folks in the hallway, both right and left, that seem to be having their swords drawn. You see Barry is crouched behind the podium with his hands hugging his knees, and he's kind of cradling and rocking back and forth a little bit. It's all going to be over soon. It's all going to be over soon. But the doorway is wide open up ahead.
Yeah, John's using his rabbit feet to get out of there just as quick as he can.
See Jean just bolt it and leave me behind, but I'm gonna slowly catch up, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I only have a speed of 30, so I think we're going about the same
Oh.
pace.
Yeah.
You guys get out the door. You push it open. You swing it open, and there's the Minotaur that's sitting out there, and it looks like he's getting ready to charge and slam into you guys. I need you guys both to make me a dexterity checks.
Natural 1
Ooh,
plus 0.
12.
12. Okay.
Yeah, it's a... Did you say a dex save? Dex check.
Dex save. Dex. Yeah, dex save.
Okay. If I failed, I have lucky footwork, so let me know and I'll roll a extra d4.
Look up to his charge attack. Yes, you did roll a little lower than what he.
Okay. I'm gonna use lucky footwork then, which lets me use my reaction to roll a d4. So that will add 2 to make 14 total.
Does slam by you. You see him. He almost move right out of the way, just enough time. But you are gonna take 3 points of like piercing damage as he scrapes by you. And Lucas, you're going to take 7 as he slams you into the wall and almost pins you between his horns against the wall.
As I'm running and see Lucas take kind of a big hit, can I fire off my pistol and try and hit the Minotaur?
Sure.
Nice. Where are my numbers? 21 to hit?
Oh, yeah, that hits.
Okay, and then, man, I am all discombobulated. My dice don't look like dice to me. 16. 18 damage. I'm marking him as my favored foe and sneak attack since he's right next to Lucas.
That is enough to break his concentration on his grapple there, and he screams as he rips his horns out and grabs his buttocks where you shot him. You notice that like he has this reddish color fur, but the red blood is definitely taking over, and it's definitely a different type of red. Lucas, what would you do?
So I'm not grappled by him anymore.
He pinned you, and then Jean turned around and shot him, and he screamed and made him let go.
Okay. And I guess I'll run down the street.
Nameless going to do anything?
Yeah, he's just following after us. I think like once John feels a little bit better that we're out in the open, he's gonna send Nameless on ahead.
Nameless takes off. You guys are go ahead.
While we're running, my detect magic is up to 10 minutes. Do I still see the same thing when we're outside?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
The same exact thing. Yes.
John, we need to wait for crew.
He sent me our. Okay, first of all, are we like out in the streets running? Like there might be people behind us, but like we're like the right
Yes,
ahead of
yeah,
us
there's-
is fine.
Right ahead of you is fine. It looks like it's a crowded street.
Yeah.
And so there's people in front of you doing their shopping and their different things, but it doesn't look like there's a guard or anybody trying to
Okay.
stop you guys from running. But there's definitely, about 5 people behind you with swords that are chasing after you. The Minotaur is grabbing his butt. Of course, you hear some people screaming, "Somebody get the guard! There was a gunfire!"
Yeah. Okay. So Jean's gonna call out to Lucas. Crew sent me a message. He said to just go and he'll meet us on the ship. And Jean will then turn to Nameless. Get back to the ship, cut the lines, get the anchors up, set sail. We'll swim out if we have to. Just go. And hopefully Nameless charges off ahead of us.
Yeah, he is charging off ahead of
Okay.
you. Your friends have bolted out. You see V shot sigh. She goes, "Well, what a shame. What a shame indeed. Oh, perhaps we'll catch them soon."
You're never gonna catch them. This crew has shown me so much capability in the last 2 weeks. I know the Chaos Clan. Y'all just stand no chance against them. But V, this isn't you. Who changed you? Who bought you? What is going on here?
She smiles, and as you look closer at her, she's not wearing her usual robes anymore. She's got like a pinstripe suit on with a hat on top of her head that's kind of got a brim that goes all the way around. That's also pinstriped as well. She smiles, and, "Are you sure you're ready to meet him? He's such a marvelous person. Perhaps we put you in the brig and let you cool down for a while first."
I'm not gonna meet them, and I'm gonna cast Dimension Door.
What does that do for you?
I teleport he and one willing creature, but there's a willing creature, up to 50 or up to 500 feet away, the place that I can. I'm going to cast it, teleport out into foyer.
Were there not windows?
Well, you can't see the entrance. No, because it was dim on the inside. There's no windows.
The
and so
closest
you can-
point to the place where Barney was. I
Okay,
can-
yeah. So remember, there's that big curtain in the way, so you couldn't see past the red curtain. You teleport there, and the fountain starts going back off. People are kind of rummaging around, moving in the area, but you hear a loud clapping from that opening on the back side, and you see 2 yellow and brown hands that are relatively large coming through the doorway, and they're clapping.
Are they coming like towards me?
It looks like they are. I mean, the hands that have arms, they're attached to a humanoid, obviously. But it looks like whomever it may be is potentially walking outside of that doorway.
I'm going to push the curtain and out.
Perfect. There are 6 armed people in there. 2 of them look like they're talking about the Minotaur. They're standing in the doorway. The other 4 are kind of in the hallway talking about each other. Should we go run after them? What should we go back in and talk to V? What should we do?
What are y'all doing standing around? Go get them.
Roll a persuasion check for me with advantage.
13.
Oh, you're right. Yes. And they all start running out the door.
And I'm going to run behind them like I'm part of the group. Once I'm outside, I'm going to see if I can find any kind of alleyway anywhere. And I'm going to cast Mask of Many Faces. Look like my human form.
Yeah, you're able to run out. You see them get out. Oh crap, we don't know which way they went. I'll go left, you go right. And so they split in half, and as they do that split in half, you're able to run into an alleyway that's right across the street and find a place to duck behind to be able to cast your spell. This alleyway it's a little more of that dingy feel that you're used to. It's got some what we consider, I guess, dumpsters, large boxes in which trash is being thrown outside into. Its smell is kind of rancid. There's a stray cat that's kind of walking through it, drunkily meowing a little bit. There are these strange metallic stairways that seem to be going up the sides of the buildings. Jean and Lucas, what do you guys do?
Just keep running.
Sprinting.
Just keep running.
Sprinting to the ship.
You're lucky. It looks like you guys were able to wind around enough. Eventually, you do lose them. People that are running, chasing behind you, and somehow you've managed with my roll of 2 to not attract any guards' attention as well.
Nice. We're really good at what we do. Pretty sure that's what Crew just said.
We ran so fast that nobody even noticed.
You ran so far away.
As you keep running towards your ship, there is a loud explosion sound coming from that direction, and you see a large plume of smoke coming from above, kind of in the same direction that your ship was located at.
Do I see that explosion?
Yes, yeah. I mean, it's large enough that you see that you'd almost kind of hear the reverberations of the explosion, but you'd see this large plume of smoke kind of coming from that direction for sure.
Well, that's promising.
What was that? We need to check on that. Hopefully it's not our ship.
There's no telling. It's possible they've sent someone to commandeer the ship while we were in there, and the crew is fighting.
Better get there quick and help them.
Master, the ship's not here.
What?
There was an explosion, and then I don't know, but it's not here anymore. There's some more of those people around the docks, though. Should I fight them?
Did it sink,
One of
or
them
is
look-
it gone?
It's gone. It looks like a lot of them are really hurt. They've got some burn marks, slash marks on their body.
Them who?
The people around the docks that look like the people that we were just running from. They've got some of the same colors on.
Don't fight them.
Okay.
Just stay hidden. We'll be there momentarily.
Okay.
Lucas, our ship is gone. Something has happened. There's guards down there at the docks. We need to be cautious as we approach.
If we look behind us, do we still see the people chasing us, or we've lost them for now?
Yeah, you've lost the ones that were chasing you,
Okay.
for sure.
John, let's duck into an alley and just catch our breath, and maybe we can sneak up to the port or the harbor area.
That's my ship.
Well, if it's gone, it doesn't really matter now.
I need to see it. We have to.
Okay.
We have to get there. And John will slow down a little bit, but he's still like fast walking towards the dock.
I'll slow down. John, you said it was gone? I assume it blew up.
I asked Nameless. He said it didn't sink. It's just disappeared. I don't know if there's some sort of magic or what.
Okay,
He said that the people on the dock were burned and cut up. I don't know.
Okay, let's try not to draw as much attention to ourselves and sprint. Let's quickly walk down, scope out what we can from a safe distance. If we can, reevaluate from there.
John just nods and walks along as quickly as he can without drawing too much attention.
Crew, what are you doing? Are you sprinting? Are you walking? Are you going somewhere special? What are you doing?
So is the market in between me and the harbor, or would I have to
That's-
make like a huge tour to get to it?
Not a huge detour. You know it's going to be, at least from your experience, it'd be 15 minutes away or so. It would kind of be a 15-minute detour.
I'm gonna head towards the market and see if I see Drake and the brothers.
Roll me a perception check as you get closer to this market. It's very similar to the Arabian Nights type market, though the stalls seem to be a lot nicer and well built, but they kind of have the cloth that kind of is at the top that kind of functions as a shade. And sometimes they have cloths that are hanging on the side. They get different fruits and vegetables and different salesmen. And it's a crowded area for sure. So you may have to climb up a little bit higher to be able to see across the market itself, because it kind of sits in the middle of a street and then it goes into this large open area with which appears to be another new fountain in the middle of this area as well. 15. You to search. What does it look like? You looking around? Are you just walking through the crowd? Are you getting up somewhere high? Are you shaking down some market salesmen? What are you doing?
I'm just walking, trying to draw as little attention to myself as possible, just like a normal person, just kind of looking at the market. If really looking, not at anything they're actually selling.
As you go through the market, you do see them across the way, and they are a good like 200 yards away from you. But you just, you can kind of see that distance, and you look, and they are in chains. Their ankles are chained up, their wrists are chained up behind them, and it looks like there's a couple of guards that are pulling them. That looks like they've been roughed up a little bit. And of course, you see Drake. He's kind of mouthing off at them the entire time. He's fighting more so than the brothers are, but they're being dragged towards the large factory, Pluming Smoke.
How many guards are on them?
About 6.
I'm going to send a message. I don't know if I'm close enough or not. I'm just going to attempt. And the brothers have been captured. It looks like they're taking them to that factory. I'm going to follow.
It feels like the spell did not go through. He's too far away.
I'm just going to follow.
John and Lucas, you eventually make your way back, and you kind of see this plume of smoke is now kind of faded and moved off more into the ocean itself. You see Nameless is kind of hiding in a large bush that is by the dock there. The guards are kind of pacing back and forth along the beach and the dock end there. But roll me a perception check.
Natural one. For a total of 4.
What did you roll, Lucas?
8.
8. Okay. So Nameless is nowhere to be found. You do see these sea guards kind of pacing back and forth along the beach, and the plume of smoke that was kind of in the general area where you were, it looks like it's moved off into the ocean a little bit. But you don't see your boat, you don't see Nameless, you just see these people pacing around.
Plume of smoke out to sea.
It looks like the plume of smoke has kind of gone out to sea, but almost like the smoke when it went out to sea, it kind of carried with it as well, and so it's kind of hard to see what's going on out to sea at this point. Like almost like a weird fog is kind of built up because of the smoke.
John, I don't see our ship anywhere.
I don't either.
Couple of your items that would have been from your ship on the dock there. You see somebody pick up like a big bag of like rocks and like chucks it at the wall, and he goes, "That stupid doll! Oh, I'm gonna take it for taking my eye." And he turns around, you can see his face is just burned, and an eye is missing. "Find that boat! Can't believe those dolls know how to sail!"
Well,
And he screams real loud.
I suppose Lily might not be so bad.
I need more information, but Lily's commandeered our ship and we're stranded here.
We're not stranded.
Yeah, there's no boat. Yep.
Our ship is not there, but I see a port full of free vessels.
Thinking of stealing one?
Yes, at least one.
We should find our crew, or find out what happened to our crew and crew.
Sounds like they made it away.
Oh, okay then.
I mean, if Lily set sail, surely...
Everyone was on there.
Yes.
Makes sense.
So it's just the 3 of us stranded on this island. Might be best to find our way inside of a home, wait for nightfall, and go from there.
Did crew say how long he would be?
He did not. I'm assuming he has some sort of magic or pool with V to get himself out of that situation.
Okay, yeah, let's find a place to lay low. Is there an abandoned house or a warehouse or something we can hide in the area that still gives us a view of the harbor?
Yeah, if you roll me one more perception check.
Oh, 22.
Nice.
There's a hotel on the beach side of this port that you can walk up to. It looks like, just kind of peering from where you're at, you're able to see a room that's almost like 3 floors up. Is got the lights off. Looks like it's not being used at the moment. There is a fire escape on the outside of this building as well, and one of the windows would go into this fire escape, which is the strange metallic steps that would be on the outside of this building.
Oh, looks like this hotel is a free room. We should go rent it.
I think that would draw a little too much attention. Too many people around, too many eyes. There were houses around like that.
Oh yeah, there's some houses around and
Like
stuff for sure.
smaller, like shacks. Not necessarily shacks, but
Yeah.
like more on the poor end.
Yeah, more on the poor end, but again, the town's gone up in scale, so no
Yeah.
one's living anything lower than like low middle class. So
Yeah. John will point to, some houses kind of more on the outskirts. I think we could commandeer one of these for a night.
Well, let's do that without trying to hurt anybody, but
Oh, I will not hurt anyone.
let's go. I don't want to stand out here for too long.
Yeah. So John will go up to, like, just kind of the plainest looking house near to the dock and knock on the door.
opens up as you knock.
What am I looking at?
The room, it's relatively dusty. It's dark when you look inside. It looks like all of the windows have some sort of cloth or have been boarded over a little bit. Do either of you have dark vision?
No.
So it looks like a dark room. A single bedroom dark room, but a dark room. It's dirt floor, still the same kind of bricks that you're seeing throughout the rest of the town kind of makes up the outside.
The person, though, who answered the door?
Oh, no one answered the door. It's like you knocked and the hinge was loose enough that it never latched. And so when you knocked, the latch just... So it swung open as you knocked. So there's a little bit of light going into the room, but no one answered the door.
Okay.
Does it look lived in at all?
You wouldn't be able to tell without, much light. I mean, it looks like there's claw marks on the floor that you notice, but nothing special beyond what you can see with that little bit of light.
Yeah, Jean will step in and
Okay.
just take a look around. Call out, hello, is there anyone in here?
You hear a little squeak of like a rat, and it just kind of takes off running. You step in, there's a large carcass that you kind of stepped on, like a bone, some sort of like animal
Ugh.
in the room, like a sheep or a deer or something.
Yeah, Jean will step back out into the alleyway and say, yes, this'll do perfect. Are there any rocks around, like small rocks nearby that I could pick up?
Yeah, there's
off the
plenty
ground?
of rocks
Okay.
around.
Yeah.
Absolutely, rocks and shells and other things you'd find at a beach.
So Jean's gonna pick one up, and what is this building made out of? Is it brick?
It's a brick adobe mix.
Okay. So on the outside of the house, he's going to like draw a circle with like two really big lines coming off of it, like rabbit ears. And then on top of the rabbit ears, he's going to draw like a little square with a few lines on it to kind of look like a chef's hat, and drop the rock down and look at Lucas and say, hopefully if Crew comes looking for us, he'll see the sign. But I say we at least take a few hours and lay low here, venture out at night.
That's good.
You walk in, there's a little bit of a smell of a dead animal. You guys eventually do find a lantern. Do you guys light it?
It's pitch black in here, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll light it.
You don't find much in here. There's a small 4-foot table with a wooden chair next to it. There's some chains that are attached to a wall. It's almost like these chains were pulled taut towards the dead animal, but not attached to the dead animal, just close to it. There's a rat or two that are kind of picking off of this dead animal, and when they see the light kick on, they kind of scurry out. There's claw marks all over the floor, as well as some claw marks all against the walls as well.
John?
Yes.
Not exactly sure what's going on in here.
I'm not either, but I'm hoping it's terrifying enough that no one comes knocking. And we had to step over a carcass to get in the door.
But all these claw marks everywhere. It's suspicious. Something was kept in here.
John looks closer at them. Do they look like they're from the rats or like larger claw marks?
They look like larger claw marks. As
And-
you've been down to look, there's a small book underneath the table.
And John looks at the animal. You said it was like a sheep?
Yeah, it's like a sheep. Looks like it's been there 2 or 3 days now.
Are there any doors or anything that are closed inside of this little house?
Just the one way in and out.
Okay. John turns to Lucas. Whatever it was, I don't think it's here now. And John will toss Lucas the book. Anything of interest?
I will open the book or look on the cover, see if there's a title.
There's no title. It's just leather. It's a leather-bound book. It's a soft leather book on the outside, almost like kind of like a journal.
Guess I'll read it.
open it to the first page, and it says it only happens at the full moon, which are gruesome. So, crew, you're walking from the marketplace, and you start traveling down the area to this new part of town that's a lot nicer and a lot more built, a little more industrious. There seems to be a strange little new coffee shop that's popped up along the corner, as well as both hotels that are kind of around the corner. It's a busier part of town. People seem to be more dressed nicely in this area, and they seem to be kind of going back and forth to work or different places. You see a couple of the guards that you'd seen before kind of walking around, looking around, but no one seems to pay any mind to you as you're dressed in your human form. How long does this Mask of Many Faces last?
Is hour, but I can cast it.
You keep traveling down. You don't have to recast, but you feel like it's been about 45 minutes by the time you've reached your factory area. It's a large building. It's gated around. You see the guards yell a little bit. They open the large metallic gate, pulling them in. For a second, Drake grabs one of the bars and he starts pulling the other direction, and you see him kick one of the guards and knocks a tooth out. And the guard gets real pissed and clubs him in the face and knocks him out with his giant club. They beat him a couple of times, and they force the two brothers to drag his body as they're walking into this factory area. There are armed guards all the way around the fence line towers. It looks like there's 2 or 3 guards in each tower. On the ends, there's 3 large chimneys that stick out of this factory, and they plume up into the air, and you can definitely tell this is what's causing that new smog that's just kind of around everywhere. It's a little harder to breathe in this area, so you're coughing a little bit more than normal. It looks like they are not taking your crewmates into the factory itself, but rather around the corner and almost into a basement area.
Do I see where like the door is?
Yes, yeah, you can kind of see where that's at. And then a cart passes right in front of that doorway, and it's a very, very fancy looking. And out of the carriage walks a half-elf barbarian, tall, lighter-skinned, and long blonde braids. Got his giant great axe that kind of he holds with his other hand as he swings it out. He puts it on his shoulders. He walks to the other side of the carriage, and he opens up the door. You see 2 hands that you saw before stick their hands out of the carriage door. And that is where we will end for the evening.
A little side note, as I see Adarath get out of the bridge, I'm kind of just back into shadows a little. Not necessarily just hide, just kind of be a little bit less noticeable.
Perfect. It doesn't look like she's looking around at all to look for anybody specific or anything. She's very intently focusing on whomever she's opening the carriage door for. Thank you all for hanging out with us on this episode of A Dicey Experience, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Next time we'll be deadly serious next time. Peace.
Weird being the lead of an episode, I'm usually background noise.
It's fun. Enjoy it. Mess with Jason. That's the best part of being the lead.
I intend to, especially once my contact gets there. There's probably gonna be a lot of back and forth.
You get to take everything that he's prepared and do nothing the way he wants.
Exactly. 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 Exactly.